Hello guys, so I have been apartment hunting in LA, Los Angeles, and child, it hasn't even been that bad. I'm not gonna lie, my house hunting process has been, I don't even really want to talk about it too much, but I had to move out of my old apartment. I thought I was gonna buy a condo. Got halfway through the escrow process, realized the neighborhood wasn't gonna be safe, and now I'm back to renting. So I want to show you guys the places. I'm gonna mention amenities, prices, things that you need to look out for while apartment hunting in LA, because there's some things where I've never experienced this in another city. And so LA it's a big city. Like, I feel like all big cities have some differences and issues when it comes to looking for places. My tongue is green, y'all. I just want to let you know it is because of this drink. I do not naturally have a green tongue, so sorry about that. But what I wanted when it came to an apartment was going to be $2,000 or less, preferably a one bedroom, but I was willing to look at studios, and I wanted the building to have some sort of amenities. So pool, gym, media room, those kinds of things is what I was looking for. Location wise, I was open to most well, as long as I felt safe and it wasn't too busy in the exact area that I was going to be living in terms of just like a lot of people walking around all day. I didn't want that. Let's talk about the first place. It was in Koreatown. Rent was going to be $1,800, and downsides, if you know LA, Koreatown is close to downtown, relatively close to Hollywood. Both of those places are quite busy. For me, I love a good suburb. I am a suburban woman. Okay, I come from San Diego. It's a city, but it's not a big city. It's not very crowded. And for me, mental health wise, when I am in the hustle bustle, it's just a lot and it stresses me out. But the good thing about this place was where it was located, actually, like that very small, the blocks around there, it was quiet. And I felt quite at peace when I parked my car. There was a lot of street parking, which is very good for if guests and people want to visit. But also the parking spot for this place was free. A lot of apartments in LA, even if they offer parking, you may have to pay monthly for that parking expense, which is just extra on top of your rent. And rent being $1,800 is so good in LA for a one bedroom apartment. It was very small though. The thing about this place is it felt like it was supposed to be a studio, but they put a wall up. There's a huge difference between places where it genuinely feels like it was meant to be a one bedroom and places where it feels like they turned it into a one bedroom so that they could offer slightly higher rent. But what I fell in love with for this place was the patio. So many places in LA, you can get a balcony, and maybe I was only so excited because coming from Beverly Hills, the Beverly Grove area, getting a true patio just isn't heard of. One second. People are looking at me. I'm gonna have to pause because this is stressing me out. I'm gonna wait till they drive off. I know that my hair is giving prom, wedding. Let's not talk about it. Honestly, what ended up happening was it was just supposed to be like a half up, half down ponytail, but the ponytail wasn't ponytailing, so I had to put it in a bun, and now it's giving this. If I took the flower out, it might be more casual, but the bun is high, like it's tall, so it kind of just feels like 90s hairstyles. I actually look just like my mama in her senior prom picture, so I don't know, I feel cute because she's that girl. She will forever be that girl. But getting a place with a patio, it's not gonna happen. You can get a balcony, and most of those balconies are Juliet balconies, unless, well, even, I don't know, if you're in the penthouse, you probably have a larger balcony. But either way, that excited me. The kitchen, very small, directly on the living room, open concept. I don't care about the kitchen when it comes to my place, if we're being honest. I'm trying to be a better cook. I'm trying to get better at cooking. but I'm not someone who spends all day in the kitchen. So as long as it had a kitchen, it had, you know, a stove, oven, that's what I needed, because some studios in places that are affordable don't have a stove or an oven. Amenity wise, this place did have 2 gyms, a pool. The pool was semi indoors. It was slightly covered by the building and the parking garage. It was under construction, but I knew I wasn't going to be using it right away anyways. As well as a laundry room and a media room, so if you have friends and people over, you guys can watch movies in that room, which my last place in Beverly Grove had no amenities at all, other than the top of the building. You could go to the roof and sit. So I wanted a place that had some amenities. For me, a big thing was the gym. I don't work out like that, but I think the biggest reason why I don't work out is because I don't like driving to the gym. Even when I had a personal trainer, I still would skip out on some things because I didn't want to go to the gym. Like, as soon as I have to get in my car to exercise, which is not something that I'm like, ooh, I want to exercise, I've already lost. So a place with a gym is necessary, or what I wanted. Moving on to the second and the third location, both of these were in between $1,900 and $2,000, so right towards the top of my budget, and they were in Hollywood, which I don't like Hollywood. Like, I'm gonna say that right now before we even get into the place. If you love Hollywood, if you love feeling like you are in a little baby New York, Hollywood is probably the place for you. For me, it was not gonna happen. As I was walking up to the building, there was a girl singing outside loudly and horribly, and I am all for somebody singing their talent, their dreams. I grew up in art schools, okay, so I understand not everybody can sing. I had to accept that I was not really a singer, right? So I can't be mad, but it was like, can I hear this from inside? Like, am I gonna have to hear this inside every single day? Especially knowing that I record. Woo! And it was funny though, because there was a guy walking up as I was leaving, and he was like, "Welcome to LA." And I was just like, yeah, this ain't for me here. I love him though, but I just knew that I was gonna be stressed. But more about the building, I actually thought this was gonna be the location that I would end up loving the most, because the pool looked luxurious in photos. They had a music room that you can practice in, a gym, just the amenities here looked really nice in the pictures, but once I walked inside, it smelled like cigarette. I hate the smell of cigarettes. I hate the smell of weed, just like any type of smoking product. Not really a fan of it. And it smelled like that everywhere in the building, and it smelled like that in the leasing office. I was like, how, child, like, it could smell like this in the hallways, but the leasing office, y'all be smoking in here? I wasn't really sure, but I wasn't about that. And when I walked in to the 2 studios, because the 1 bedroom had already been leased, they were just, it was nothing fancy. Especially after seeing the place with the patio, I realized I did want a 1 bedroom, but both of these places had full kitchens, nice closet space. Another thing is, I think if I remember correctly, they only had 1 closet, which I need 2 closets, or I just need 2 spaces for storage. And I could have totally bought shelving, but I wanted to have a clear separation between my living room and my bedroom, and I didn't feel like I could do that for these locations. So this building was not gonna work for me. Also, it was more expensive than the place with the 1 bedroom, where I felt more mentally at peace, and yeah, I wasn't gonna be about that life. Something that I haven't mentioned yet is to be prepared for a holding deposit in LA. I'm not sure how many cities do this. When I was asking around, a lot of people said they never had to do that. They just signed the lease and paid. In my last apartment, I didn't have to have a holding deposit either, but multiple of the locations I looked at mentioned a holding deposit. And it might just be the time of year that I'm looking for a place. It might be more competitive. I'm not sure, but the first place that I went to with that beautiful patio that I wanted, the holding deposit was going to be almost as much as my normal deposit. And sometimes how holding deposits work is once you get the place, that's becomes your actual deposit. But they weren't being very clear, and there was just some things that were kind of uncomfortable. My mom was like, it sounds like a scam, which I don't think it was a scam, because they did call me 2 days later to say, hey, because you didn't put a holding deposit, somebody else has got the place, but thank you so much. And I went there in person, spoke to the people in person. This building has amazing reviews online. So I was hurt, I'm not gonna lie. I was very hurt that I did not put down a holding deposit, but it all worked out the way that it was supposed to. I'm truly a believer of what's for you is for you, and I have got the apartment that is for me. Another thing to note when it comes to apartment hunting nowadays in LA is that buildings seem to have way more requirements for the application process. I think it's because after COVID there was a ton of evictions and buildings just want to protect themselves more, so they're not just asking for your credit, they want your credit, they want your bank statements, they want proof of income, which in some cities like New York, this is quite common, but in LA, not everybody does that, but it's becoming normal practice. So if they're asking you to see what's in your checking account, what's in your savings account, don't be concerned. For a moment, I was like, are y'all about to scam me? I had to give you my social security for my credit score. Now you want to know how much is in my account? Ooh, but don't be concerned. If you've gone to the building, it seems legit. You've met the person. They have a leasing office. You're communicating with their leasing office. I'm pretty sure you're going to be okay, but just protect yourself. A lot of the places I was looking at for apartments was going to be rentcafe.com, apartments.com, and also, what's the name? It's called Westside. I think Westside, I'm gonna put the link down below, but Westside Apartments, they lease a ton in LA, so you can find things there. Another thing to note is when you are looking on Rent Cafe, apartments.com, even Zillow, if you can, type the address into Google first and then see if another website comes up. Look at the actual apartments website. It's gonna give you a lot more information. You'll be able to speak directly with the leasing office rather than having to go through apartment.com and then they email them and then you have to wait. The process can just be a lot quicker. Also, you can see if they have other units available that you may like. I know the recommendation used to be to drive around LA, see signs, but that would take a lot of time. They're not always updated. I wouldn't recommend that. I think searching online does more than enough and it's gonna save you time. Now for the place that I ended up at, it just felt like everything, it fell into place perfectly the way that it was supposed to. I had just got the call that I was not gonna get that first apartment that I wanted. And I was determined. I was like, I'm gonna go back on a Sunday and I am not leaving until I sign a lease, because I was just tired. I was drained. I had been searching for a home, not just renting an apartment, but searching for buying a home for 2 months at this point in time. I just wanted to be back in LA. I was doing a crazy drive in between my mom's home and my job. I was tired. And some apartments aren't open on Sundays. I was a little shook at that. I was like, how's the leasing office not open on Sundays? But I guess if they don't need to rent an apartment at that time, there's no need for them to be open on a Sunday. So I was only able to look at places that were open on Sundays. And I wanted to look at ADUs as well as some more apartments. And I didn't end up going to look at the ADU that I wanted because the time that they were available was going to be 1 p.m. And I wanted to go see this apartment. I'm not going to mention the part of town it is for safety reasons, but it's in a suburb area and I could not get a hold of them, so I went to the building and I still couldn't get a hold of them, but I realized I love this part of town. I felt so at peace. It was so calm. I just felt so relaxed there. So I Googled apartments in this part of town and I found another apartment. And that still was not the one I chose. I know I'm being so cryptic right now. But they had this large banner and it was talking about rent specials. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go up and go see. And when I went up and I went to go speak to the people, the leasing office was gorgeous. And with the rent special, this place is $1,900 or $1,915 per month, but with the rent special it was going to end up being a little less than that $1,800 that I was going to pay for that first place with the patio. So I was like, oh, this is working out. Amenities wise, this place has an office that I can work at if I need to, a gym, 2 pools, a hot tub, a room that I can rent for parties and events, and it's clean, it's nice, there's so much space, parking was free, it just felt right. So after going in there, they couldn't allow me to see the home for about a couple hours because I was just last minute walking in, but I just knew, like everything in me knew, this is gonna be your home. And I canceled my ADU appointment and I came back, and when I saw the place, it was gorgeous. Like, it felt so updated compared to some of the other apartments I was seeing. The kitchen was spacious. I had a spacious dining room, a spacious living room. On the model home that they showed me, please don't tell me my computer's about to die. Oh, it's too hot. I'll talk to you in a second. So my camera has cooled down and my taco should be ready in 10 minutes. But as I was saying, the only thing that I don't like about this one, the unit I have versus the unit I viewed, is that the door on the unit I viewed was to the bedroom. So I could give people full access to my bathroom without them having access to my bedroom. However, on the unit I have, the door is to the bathroom / hallway. So once they open that door, they have full access to my bedroom, which is not a big deal because sorry, my lip gloss. Anyone that's coming over my house, it's fine if they go in my room, but it was just nice to have that level of privacy. So you guys have seen my apartment. I didn't want to do the whole, which one did you think I picked? Let's wait till the next video because there's no point in that. But I will have a video of me decorating my apartment soon. If you have any questions about apartment hunting in LA, maybe some good suburb neighborhoods to look for, you can message me privately. I won't tell you where I live, but I'll tell you some of the locations that I liked because these aren't all of the apartments that I looked at. These are just the ones that I was able to record. Sorry, when I first was looking, I didn't think I was gonna do a video on it, so I just don't have those places. Some of the other locations I looked at was Monterey, Inglewood, some of the cities surrounding Inglewood, Long Beach, but I just didn't record them. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Please subscribe if you want more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.